Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. So I don't have very much time this morning. We're just gonna chit chat for a second. So we're just gonna chit chat for a second, and I'll explain a few things. I know, like I did a couple of videos showing some of my medical records. Some I didn't show all. I showed some of my medical records, and we're just gonna talk about it really quick because I know like people may have their opinion of me, whatever. I don't give two fucks in this sector, to be honest with you. Um, I'm not going to rehash the whole Kevin Leroy situation. I think that's like beating a dead horse. Like, honestly, when you think about that, who gives a fuck who I fuck and who I suck and who I do whatever with? Who gives a shit about any of that? Nobody does, right? Because I don't. But so let's reverse history and go back to when I was 24 years old. I was pregnant with my son, my youngest son, my 16-year-old. And I was pregnant with my 16-year-old son and I started bleeding. And I thought that I was having a miscarriage. So at the time I was married. I had a husband at that time. I was married to the father of my sons, and I had called my doctor's office and I said, "Hey, I don't know what's going on, but I'm bleeding and I think I need to be seen." So my ex-husband and I went to the doctor and they did an ultrasound on the baby and they said the baby was fine. The baby was moving around, the heartbeat was fine. I didn't have any complications in that area, but the doctor wanted to do a pap and pelvic to find out why I was bleeding and where the blood was coming from. So they did a pap smear at that time, and I waited 2 weeks, 2 long weeks for those results to come in. And the whole time while I was waiting on those test results, they were monitoring the baby, making sure everything was fine with the baby. And when my results finally came in, the doctor called and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you and your husband." So my husband and I went back to the doctor's office, and which my doctor at that time, his name was Dr. Paul Nyrazel. And he sat down and he told my husband and I, he said, "Listen," he said, "your labs came back from pathology. And at this time, it's showing that you have cervical cancer in the first layer of your cervix." He said, "You have a couple of options that we can do." He said, "You can terminate your pregnancy and we can treat the cervical cancer and you can try again later to have another baby." He said, "Or you can continue with your pregnancy." He said, "But I can't promise you that you're not going to have complications. And I can't promise you that the cancer is not going to spread more rapidly because when you're pregnant, your hormones are like in overdrive and it could have caused the cancer to spread faster." Obviously, I chose to stay pregnant. I was not going to terminate the pregnancy with my son. I did not have any complications throughout my pregnancy. My pregnancy was actually fine. After the bleeding stopped, I had no more complications until my son was born. I was in labor for 19 hours and 11 minutes with that child, and I pushed for 2.5 hours. And I had him naturally, so I was pissed. I was so pissed. I'm like, what is wrong with this kid? Why is he not coming out of me? Immediately after my son was born, I hemorrhaged, and I didn't even get to see my son because they rushed me off to OR. So I had my first surgery right then and there after my son was born. And then I had to wait until he was 6 weeks old, and I had a second surgery. And then 3 weeks after that surgery, I had my third surgery. And this was all after the birth of my last child. So after my third surgery, I had to do a pap smear every 3 months for the first year, every 6 months for the second year, and then every year for life. Okay. Now, ladies, now they tell you that you don't have to have a pap and pelvic, but every 3 to 5 years, as long as you have a normal pap. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's very important for women to get their well women's exam every single year, because had I not have been pregnant at that time in my life, I never would have known. I never would have known. I didn't feel sick. I didn't have any pelvic pain. I had no symptoms whatsoever. So had I not have been pregnant, I would have never known that I had cervical cancer. Fast forward to later on in life. So I have a family history of the women in my family that have had breast cancer. I have an aunt that had a double mastectomy in her 30s. My mom had multiple lumpectomies in her 30s. My grandmother had a mastectomy on her left breast in her 30s. So I'm in the shower one day. Okay. I'm in the shower. Get home from work. I take a shower and I'm washing and I feel like a bump up under my left breast. Okay. I didn't know what the hell it was. I like literally after the shower, I like looked up under my boob. Did something bite me? Like, what the fuck? Why do I have a bump there? And it was nothing there, nothing on the skin. So I started feeling around my breast, and on the side of the breast, I could feel another bump. I go into the doctor and I say, "Hey, this is what the deal is." They did a breast exam, and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna refer you for a mammogram." Okay. I had my first mammogram done. And on the first mammogram, it showed 3 areas in the left breast. And on the right breast, the breast tissue was 95% dense. So they had a hard time seeing through the tissue on the right side. After my mammogram results came in and they saw what they saw, they referred me to another doctor where that doctor did a second mammogram. Now, at that time, I think I was on the phone, and I might be wrong because this was back in like 2015, 2016. I think I was on the phone talking to Kevin Leroy, to be honest with you. I was on the phone talking to Kevin Leroy. And when I got to my appointment, I even did a video because he was like, "Well, send me a video." So I did a video for him, literally. He even put it on display like it's some fantastic thing in the world. But I was like showing him like the mammogram equipment, and I had on my little paper gown, whatever. And I was getting ready to do my second mammogram for the opinion of the second doctor. So when that mammogram came back, the second opinion confirmed what the first doctor had seen. Okay. So they started doing all kinds of tests on me. They did CT scans, they did PET scans. In the scan at that time, and I'm surprised Kevin Leroy didn't tell everybody this already because he was well aware the entire time because he was talking to me about everything. At the time that those scans had came up, they had found what they believed to have been tumors at the base of my brain, the base of my spine, and the base of my lungs. So when they sat down and talked to me and my family, they were like, "This is what we're dealing with. You know, we have confirmed that she does have the malignant." I went through a bunch of testing on those too, by the way. They had to stick a needle in, they did a needle biopsy, they did all of that. They said that we have confirmed that she does have the malignant neoplasms in the left breast. And after all of her scans, we have found what we believe to be tumors at the base of the brain, the base of the lung, and the base of the spine. So they wanted to look more extensively into my brain, lungs, and spine. They did an MRI. And after all of those results came back, they determined that the lesions that what they believed at the time to be tumors at the base of my brain, base of my spine, and base of my lungs were not tumors, they were lesions. And those lesions were caused by multiple sclerosis. So, after all of this testing and all of the stuff that they put me through, they wanted to make sure that they had everything. And I had other complications going on too, besides just those. So in March of 2017, I had surgery. In that surgery, they removed the 3 malignant neoplasms from the left breast. They removed a part of my liver and a part of my small intestine. I don't have anything to hide. You know, people can say what they want to say about me. They can speculate. They can whatever. My medical records, I have no problem pulling those up. I don't have any STDs. I don't have HIV. I don't have herpes. Don't have chlamydia. Don't have gonorrhea. Don't have syphilis. Don't have bacterial vaginal. I don't have none of that. Okay. Everything is clear. But I had surgery a couple of weeks ago on my heart for my supraventricular tachycardia, AFib, and heart failure. Also, they had a atrioventricular something with the lobe or the chamber, whatever. I don't know. All that's in there. So, like I don't need sympathy. I don't need none of that because I feel like after my heart surgery, I feel great. Like I feel really good right now, you know? And even though like there are times that I have complications with MS, um, it's managed. It's very, very well managed. I have very wonderful doctors who take great care of me, who are very, empathetic and they're understanding and they listen. And when I feel like something's not right, they're on it. Hold on, I can't read that big logic. Let me get my phone closer to me. I am. I'm very transparent. I have no problem whatsoever with discussing anything about myself. You know, no problem discussing anything about myself. And like I said, I'm not going to rehash back into the whole Kevin Leroy situation. Was I not truthful about that? I was not transparent about that situation, Big Logic. So although I've been transparent about other things, I have not been transparent about the Kevin Leroy situation. And I'm not going to rehash that again. Um, every time I go into LA's chat, I know he puts me in the corner. I, I know he's the one that sticks me in the corner. And I don't care. I became very good friends with the corner. That's where they put the bad girls. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't phase me. What people say about me doesn't phase me because people don't know what I've been through. They don't really truly know what I've been through. They don't truly know what I've dealt with. They don't truly know what I do deal with, and they don't know how strong I am. God, it's back like a California wildfire. No, 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 no. I'm not back like a California wildfire. I just it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, listen, like I'm not even gonna pretend. I When it comes to like relationships or when it comes to like situationships, I'm not very good at those. I'm not. I'm not very good at those at all because like in the beginning things are cool, things are great, things seem one way and then I get bored. I really do. I get bored. So, I don't intentionally mean to hurt people, men, whatever. I don't intentionally mean to hurt them. It's not my intention. I start off with good intentions. And then like little things happen that like sends up red flags. And when those red flags come out, I'm like, I back away. As quickly as I can, I back away. I don't ignore the red flags. I know he's sitting in the car crying because I put my medical records out there and I all of that. Oh, she's got HIV. He wishes that I had HIV. He wishes that I did. But listen, seriously, like there was some red flags in situations that I've had with men, and you know, when things started happening that I didn't like, I backed away. I backed off. I backed off very fast. I don't like men who are controlling because I'm like a wild horse. I can't be broken. You can't control me. I don't. I'm a very strong, very independent woman, and I don't like to be controlled. I don't like men who are extra clingy. I can't stand that. I can't stand a man who is fucking clingy. That shit is irritating as hell. It's like, dude, get off my titty. I'm not your mama. So like when I don't have time, I have a busy life. I'm a single mom. I work. Um, I'm constantly doing something in my life. Just because I'm out and about or I'm out at a bar or I'm doing whatever the hell I feel like doing, it doesn't mean that like I'm cheating or I'm talking to other men or I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. It just means I'm living my life, you know? And when I don't have time to answer your phone call or when I don't have time to text you back right away, and you start blowing up my phone like back to back to back to back to back phone calls, text messages, Facebook messages, stop. Leave me the fuck alone. That shit irritates my entire soul. I can't stand that shit. And so in my situation with Kevin Leroy, that's kind of what was happening. Like if I didn't answer his phone call, if I didn't text him back right away, if I didn't send a Facebook message back to him right away, it was like back to back to back to back to back. Ping, 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 ring, 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 ding, 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 ding. That turns me all the way off. I will back off so fast. So fast. I will run for the fucking hills and I will not look back. I can't stand that. Okay, so it says, Kat, did Jimmy ever have a chance with you? No. No. No, 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 no. Again, going back to the situation with Jimmy. Jimmy, like, in the beginning of talking to Jimmy, he trolled me at first. He did. He trolled me at first with the whole Tango Blast bullshit. And then, like, after talking to me, Jimmy fell in love. And I realized, like, this dude, I can easily play this dude. Like, he was just like pouring information, just like pumping out information without provoked, without asked, without anything. He just started telling me everybody's business. The Wood Grain team, LA, Kevin Smith. I mean, Jimmy was like a gossiping little bitch. Like he could not wait to have an ear just to start pumping out everybody's business. And I'm like, this is kind of useful. This is useful. Because when I first came into the sector, I was new. I didn't really know much about anything. I had people that were attacking me. And Jimmy was the dog in the corner, that was like, you throw him a bone and he was wagging his tail, happy to please. That's how Jimmy was. So as long as I talked to him, as long as I engaged in conversation with him, he was telling me like anything, everything without even being provoked. So when I asked Jimmy what he looked like, he sent me a picture of Clifton Rainey. On God. He sent me a picture of Clifton Rainey. Like, he didn't even want to show me what he looked like. I guess he must have thought that Clifton was cute. I think he had a little man crush on Clifton Rainey. He wanted to look like Clifton Rainey. So when I saw the picture, I'm like, honestly, when I first saw the picture of Clifton, because at the time I did not know who Clifton Rainey was yet. I had no clue who Clifton Rainey was. But I didn't see Jimmy's voice matching with that face. Like his voice did not match. You know how like some people's voice don't match the face? Well, that was kind of like the situation. It was like, okay, that voice doesn't really match that face. And honestly, the picture that he sent me of Cliff, it was a decent picture of Cliff. It really was. It was a decent picture of Cliff. So when people found out that I was talking to Jimmy, Tina was the one that told me Jimmy was married. Jimmy never told me he was married. Ever once did Jimmy ever mention a wife. Never. It was Tina. Tina told me Jimmy was married. So when Tina told me that, I asked Jimmy. I was like, are you married? And he sat there for like a good 5 minutes, just dead silent. Dead silent. He didn't know what to say. And then finally he came out and said yes, that he was married. And I said, well, I don't mess with married men. Whatever. But another troll, and I don't remember which one it was, but there was another troll that sent me a link to a newspaper article about Jimmy and his fighting. So when I clicked on that link and I read the article and I saw the picture, I'm like, this is not the same dude that he claims that he is. So I, so I took that newspaper article and I texted to Jimmy and I said, "Is this you?" Good morning, Arms. I said, "Is this you?" I said, "Because this is not the face that you're claiming, but yet it is your name. It's your name, and it says the state of Ohio, in which you told me that you lived in Ohio. But this face is not the face that you are claiming." And he finally admitted to me that yes, that was him. And I'm like, okay, well that makes sense because that face kind of matches that voice. So then I got to see what Jimmy actually looked like. I swear to God, like if I could go back, I had to find somewhere in my house in a junk drawer. I'm quite sure I have old phones. Because like throughout the years you upgrade your cell phone. So somewhere I've got to find my old phone, and because I know I have like all the texts, all the I have all of that in the old phone. Jimmy's face will spoil milk. Jimmy's face will give you nightmares. Listen, I don't know, like women, I never catfished anybody. Like my pictures have always been out there. My face is what my face is. My body is what my body is. I don't care. I am who I am. I'm not ashamed of me. I'm not. So you can get caught at bad angles. You can get caught, like, and that's what people do. That's what we all do. When we go through videos and we screenshot, we try to catch each other at the worst angles possible, and those are the pictures that we throw out there. Like even with Tina, I've caught Tina at some horrific ass angles, and I've thrown those pictures out there. The same with Jamila. I've caught Jamila at horrific ass angles, and I've thrown her ass out there. It's what we do. That's what we do. I don't care. The pictures of people, when they catch me at a bad angle, or when they like whatever, when they freeze frame me and they distort things, it doesn't bother me. I look in the mirror every day and I see the same face and it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm not worried about that. He caught every bad gene in the family. They talk about my quote unquote liver spots. Okay, they're freckles. I have freckles. I do. I do have freckles. And like, oh, you use filters. No, I don't use filters. What I do, um, I spend listen, and this is the honest to God truth. I can go into Ulta Beauty and I can spend an easy $400 or $500, like at the drop of a dime, because in my pictures when I'm wearing makeup, I use a really good foundation. I found a really great foundation at Ulta Beauty that like will literally cover up all my freckles. So when you see me with makeup on, yeah, I put on a foundation and I use a concealer, and I'll cover up my freckles. But there are times whenever I'm natural and I just let my natural freckles out. It doesn't bother me. My blonde hair is real. I've been a blonde my entire life. I was born a blonde. I don't dye my hair. My blue eyes are real. I don't wear blue contacts. You know, I don't do none of that. I am who I am. And I don't give a fuck what anybody else has to say about it. Like before I went to Michigan, and I'll talk about this too. I don't mind talking about weight. Before I went to Michigan and I was on a bunch of heart medication, that heart medication literally, this is no joke. And I'm not ashamed to say this. I'm not ashamed to say this at all. So when I started taking all those heart meds, I started gaining a lot of weight. Like the medications were putting a lot of weight on me. And since July of this year, when I stopped taking all of my heart meds, I said, well, no, it was June. It was like the middle of June when I stopped taking the heart meds. But it wasn't until like July I started, after I stopped taking all those meds and my system was getting cleaned out. Literally from July until the beginning of September, I've lost over 35 pounds not taking heart meds. And I didn't change anything about my diet. I didn't change anything about the way that I eat. I still eat Taco Bell. I still eat McDonald's. I still eat Burger King. I still eat all that shit. I'm a very unhealthy eater. I really am. I'm an unhealthy eater at times. But I've lost over 35 pounds from July until September just by not taking my heart medications. Yeah, they do. Medications will make you gain weight. And I was like, why am I gaining this weight? Like I haven't changed anything about my lifestyle whatsoever. I made no lifestyle changes. I was just on a lot of medications. I was on a lot of medications. Like when I was in Michigan, I even showed Lamar. I'm like, look at all these fucking pills I have to take. Look at all these pills I have to take. It was like pill bottle after pill bottle after pill bottle after pill bottle. I was on so many meds. I stopped taking the meds. 35 pounds was gone in 2 months. So, but like I said, I'm not ashamed of myself. Taco Bell gave you that booty. You know what? It was funny too because like I went out on Friday night or Saturday night. It was Saturday night. Saturday night, I went out with Tiffany. Tiffany and I went out, and I had on this pair of jeans and this little shirt and a jacket. And Tiffany was like, "Girl," she was like, "Did you lose your booty?" She was like, "Did you lose your booty?" And I turned around. I said, "I hope not." And she's like, "No, you still got a little bit there." I don't want to lose the booty. I kind of like having a butt, but listen, I'll wake up at like midnight and I will crave Taco Bell and I will go get a chicken chalupa with no tomatoes, add nacho cheese in a quick second. I promise. She's cursing all white women. Okay, that's fine. We all know that that's a bunch of hocus pocus. I'm not listening to that jibber jabber shit. But yeah, Tiffany was like, "Let me see. Did you lose your booty?" And I didn't do any. I don't exercise. I don't. I don't work out at the gym. I don't even know that shit. I don't have time. I don't have time to go to a gym and work out. I don't do that shit. I just simply stopped taking my medications. Just cold turkey, stop taking my meds. I get I got my booty from my Asian mom, little bitty booty. I don't know where I got mine from. I don't do squats. I don't do that. I don't do none of that. I eat what I want. I drink what I want. I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be on like a cardiac diet, but I don't even comply with the cardiac diet. I'm horrible. I'm horrible. Nurses and doctors are the worst patients, I promise. We are the worst patients because we think we know more than the next. So I don't, yeah, I don't eat very healthy at all. I tried the whole healthy eating, like the yogurt and whatever, but I just couldn't get with it. I just could not get with it. So I'm not a healthy eater. I like Big Macs. I like chicken nuggets. I like Whoppers. I like chalupas. I like fried chicken. I like all of that. Everything that I'm not supposed to have, I love. And I'm really pissed at Burger King because, oh my God, when Burger King used to have those Whopperitos, it was actually Justin. Justin was the one that turned me on to the Whopperito. Man, I really wish that if Burger King would bring back the Whopperito, I would eat one for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I promise on God. I promise I would eat it. I have big tits though, thank God. You know what? Okay, so seriously, like my bra size, I'm like a 32C is what I wear. I'm a C cup. I don't have double D's. I don't have triple E's. I'm a C cup. I'm a 32C. I don't have ginormous boobs. I have boobs that are proportionate for my body. All right. Well, I said I wasn't going to stay live long, and I'm not. I just came on to explain some of my videos yesterday. And like I said, okay, so I wasn't very forthcoming about the Kevin Leroy situation. I had my reasons. Had he not have came out, lying on me from the beginning, then I wouldn't have lied about him either. But that's the game that he chose to play. That was his choice. And I had even told him, I'm like, if you want to lie about me, I'll lie about you too. I feel like I'm a grown woman. Now I'm 40. I turned 40 this year in 2020. So I look at myself and I'm like, I'm a 40-year-old woman who pays her own damn bills. I don't have to explain to anybody. I don't have to explain to no one, not even my children. I don't even owe my children an explanation of who I sleep with, who I don't sleep with, who I talk to, who I don't talk to. I owe nobody an explanation for what I do in my life. Okay? My choices in my life are my choices. I don't owe, and I especially don't owe a bunch of people on YouTube that I don't know an explanation for what I do in my life. I don't. I'm a grown woman. I make my own choices. I make my own decisions. I live my own life. I don't owe anybody an explanation of who I sleep with and who I don't. And I guess maybe like I look back on the situation and now I kind of find it funny. Like, okay, like, does it make you feel like a big man to say I fuck Cat Smith? Like, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I? I'm an average woman who lives in Kansas City, who is not famous. I've never been famous. I've never wanted to be famous. I'm not some. I don't claim to be a public figure. I've never claimed to be a public figure. I'm none of the above. I'm just an average chick in Kansas City. I'm nothing special. I'm nothing famous. And if it makes you feel like the big man on campus to go around bragging to everybody that you fuck Cat Smith, okay. If it makes you happy. Because honestly, I mean, unless you were memorable, Dick, I don't brag. I don't brag. I think white women with fat asses and big titties are fucking great. There's nothing special about being a white woman. I mean, honestly, there's nothing like I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand the whole race thing. Like, I look at people in general and I don't see race. I see one thing. I see the human race. That's all I see. There's nothing special or bragging about being a white woman. I mean, it's not, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't have huge tits, so, I have average size. I have a C cup. I think that's like one of the most average sizes is a C cup. Like I said, I'm not walking around packing double D's. I just have C's. But, if it makes you feel special to brag and act like you're the big man on campus because you fuck Cat Smith, then I guess you get your bragging rights. But there's nothing special about me at all. Nothing. All right, y'all. My morning is starting. I gotta go.